has done with kind of his support is to recognize, look, this technology is going to be hugely powerful and beneficial to the financial services industry because it'll drive down costs. It has more transparency. In many ways, it's arguably more secure. And so what's going to happen is you're going to start to see much more of a convergence of traditional finance with the digital asset space. And I think that's a really good thing. Well, I think it signals that this is becoming mainstream, right? Digital assets are going to become mainstream. Now, that doesn't mean all of them. I think there's going to be some that, like in anything, you have to be sort of careful and really understand the space. But again, this underlying technology is so powerful that bringing it together, and I think a recognition that it is important for regulators, it's important for for traditional financial people to understand the space and to figure out how to converge these things together. And so I think that's really the message. Well, so, I mean, one of the things that we see as a big trend in asset management is obviously this movement of alternatives into the wealth channel, right? And so, why is that a difficult thing? Because alternative assets tend to be very illiquid, and often people who don't have a huge amount of savings may have an emergency and dip into it, so they need a certain amount of liquidity. Well, we think tokenization is going to actually help that situation. So why is that? Well, one, a transaction that's been tokenized, so it does three things. It has, the source of truth, right? So whoever owns a token has all the rights to it. It has a smart contract, so you can execute the smart contract. That reduces the cost. There's not a bunch of people having to calculate to make sure that the terms of the contract are enforced. And then finally, it has a payment mechanism. So if that can drive down, and we saw it because the SEC had us run parallel processing between our old transfer agency, shareholder record keeping system, and the blockchain system. And even we were astonished at how much more cost effective it was to run these transactions on the blockchain system. And so if you think about the ability as we start to tokenize and create market makers and liquidity around these assets, you're going to actually democratize access to things that have only historically been available to really large institutions.
What other funds are you considering tokenizing?
Well, we have several ETFs, Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum, others that have been. So those are actually accessing the investment in the market. We are in conversations. I mean, one of the things we did with our private chain money market fund is we have a partnership with Standard Chartered Bank and OKX, where you're actually going